Okay, it is not hard to know what this video is about. If you were seeing any news yesterday about the Detroit Lions, it is very likely that you heard that CJ Gardner-Johnson did not walk off the field hurt, was carted off the field yesterday. Look, in this video, we're going to talk about how we might have gotten away with a disaster, or we're going to ask the question, did we? Because I want to talk about the depth in this secondary, and I want to talk about what would have happened if it really was a horrible injury, and we're going to talk about whether it was or not. So let's start with an article. This is from Pride of Detroit. Love what these guys do. I don't know. For some reason, I'm just connected more with the Pride of Detroit guys than other beat writers that write for the newspapers. I don't know why it is. It just seems like they're more grassroots, homegrown dudes. So during 11 on 11, CJ Gardner-Johnson went down with an 11 on 11 injury. And I've seen different sources say it was a non-contact, and this one says there was some mild contact. Please be contact. All right. And they said they'd be reporting of it, but early reports are positive. Tom Pelissero, trustworthy source, said, do you ever notice that in the sports world, it seems like journalism still has some integrity with this kind of stuff? It's because you'll be find out if you're not right. But here's what Tom reports. He said, there's optimism that hashtag Lions DB CJ Gardner-Johnson's knee injury is not serious per sources. More tests to come after CJ GJ went down in practice, but today, as one source puts it, he is fine. In fact, what we now know later is that it showed no damage in an MRI. So that is massive. I read that on another source. But it went on to talk about, and this is kind of what I want to say, and I'll go back to this article in just a second. But it went on, the article, to talk about how other people stepped up in CJ Gardner-Johnson's absence. All right. So here's what got me thinking. What happens if he is hurt more than we kind of give credit for? What if it is a little bit worse? All right. So here's the good news. Tracy Walker is back. Like, he practiced, he was a full go. And when he was doing an interview, he was like, hey, I'm a man of my word. I told you I'd be back for training camp, and I'm back. He even admitted that he was ready to go at OTAs, but the coaching staff held him out because they didn't feel any need to push it. But he said he was ready to go. And we all saw that. Everybody, all the beat writers were talking about how he looked like he was full go, full speed on the sidelines, getting work in. And that's awesome. So when he left, the people that came in was right away Tracy Walker. So CJ Gardner-Johnson can't play. So all you do is bring in a 4-year starter. Would have been a 5-year starter if he didn't tear his Achilles last year. Okay. You keep Kirby Joseph in there, which, by the way, the fact that Tracy Walker came in when Gardner-Johnson got hurt tells me that Kirby Joseph already had the starting spot opposite of Gardner-Johnson. That is big news. That is awesome as well, because it says that this young man is the real deal and he's holding off a starter that's making good money for this Lions team. But behind that, you still have a lot. You still have Brian Branch, the rookie, who we all see as becoming CJ Gardner-Johnson. You still have Will Harris. I know. Different people feel different ways about Will Harris. But as a fourth player, a fourth safety, not bad. All right. And then you have the what do we know about Brady Breeze, stuff like that. Yeah. I'm not saying it's as good, but I think there's enough depth at this position where we could withstand something like that. I do think we could. All right. So it goes on to say when Gardner-Johnson went down, the rest of the Lions team needed to keep practicing. Time is limited. Isn't that brutal? Like, we stop the game in the NFL. Everything stops, and we wait. We go to commercial break. Players carted off the field. The whole thing takes about 10 minutes. In training camp, it's like, move over here because we need to keep playing. Just brutal. The life in the NFL. So the Lions needed to stay on track in order to accomplish their overall plans. It's also important for the team not to dial back their intensity too much as they're doing things they could risk more injuries. So Enter Tracy Walker. This is exactly what we talked about. He kept things rolling on the defense with increased vocalness and leadership in the secondary. This is awesome. Tracy Walker's always been a leader, but he knows he has to lead more. He's one of the defensive leaders in the secondary, and it's a natural move for him to step in when another veteran goes down. Walker would finish the day with a terrific interception off of Nate Sudfeld, and over the top punch out pass breakup from Jared Goff to Sam Laporta. So he picked off Sudfeld, and he had a nice breakup on Goff to Laporta. It's worth noting that both of those plays, big plays, came after the injury. All right. So here's what we're looking at. And it's kind of exactly what I said. It looks like we're going to get away with one here. It looks like we're going to get away with one here for CJ Gardner-Johnson. And the hope is that he can get healthy quickly. All right. Maybe he's out a week. Maybe he's out 2. Maybe he's out 2 days. I don't know. But there's other little things that actually can be good in this stead. All right. You are going to get increased practice snaps for your boy Brian Branch, who all of us loved as a second-round pick for the Lions this year. The Lions are going to get an early indication of how close to ready he is. It's also nice to have guys like Cam Sutton on the outside that are doing well. And there's going to be another video at some point coming out, but there is another Lions player, undrafted free agent, that is balling out, that is already moved up with the second team corners. Yeah, it's happening. And we made a video about him, about how he could have been a steal. All right. And that's that. So we'll keep that at bay, but look out for another one. Hopefully I'll have time to make that video, but I think it was really, really good to see these guys come in, play well, make plays. And if one's going to go down, if CJ Gardner-Johnson's going to go down, the fact that you have Tracy Walker there to back him up, I don't think it gets a whole lot better than that. Like, do you? Like, I just don't think it gets a lot better than that. So I'm excited to see what continues to happen with this team. I'm excited to see what news comes out of training camp. I think we have some of the best beat writers in the NFL. I think they have a good enough visibility, especially in training camp when they're there all the time. Pay attention in this next month, because when the season starts, after that final preseason game, especially when the Lions are in prepare mode for the Kansas City Chiefs, when that happens, all this goes away. All this play, or the media being there for the entirety of the practice, being able to move around and watch stuff and see what happens, getting videos out of practice, all that stuff stops. All that stuff slows down. And they only get to have like 15 minutes there or something like that. So enjoy this time when we have it. Stay tuned in. We're going to be bringing you videos every single day. You know we are. We always have been. And we'll go from there. So leave a comment. Are you breathing a sigh of relief? Was it a big deal in the first place? It was a big deal. I'm just saying I thought we could withstand it. So did we avoid disaster? Yes. Also no. All right. See you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.